pulled an all-nighter for this because I knew I was going to wake up at 6 a.m. And I wasted my fucking time. I wasted my goddamn time. I ruined my sleep schedule. I got shit to do tomorrow. But I ruined my sleep schedule for this, and I'm very disappointed. It's not a bad card. It's the most mid card I've ever seen in my life. But we're gonna go into it, why it was mid, why, I wasted my fucking time. But we're gonna start. Hamdi Adalawahab versus Jamal Pogues. I chose Jamal Pogues. He won the fight. He won clearly 2-1, but Hamdi is Egyptian, and they gave it to Egyptian people because it's Saudi Arabia. They're desert. And fucking hell, bro, this card fucked me over. I actually didn't do that bad. I'm gonna admit, I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong about the main event. Kind of. Nah, I wasn't wrong. I actually wasn't wrong. We'll get into that later. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. It was kind of obvious. Lucas Alexander is now 8-5. Bogdan Grad's an actual good Austria prospect. He's an actual prospect, an actual good fighter. Lucas Grad's just a Brazilian guy who's now 8-5. Yeah, it was a pretty obvious pick. I chose decision because I didn't think KO, but again, it was pretty obvious Bogdan Grad was going to win either way. Even though the odds were very close, actually. That one surprised me. Oh, by the way, yeah. Yeah, there's not really much to say. Like I said, this whole card was kind of mid. Jasmine Justificius versus Myra Brano Silva. I did not predict this. I only predicted some fights on my video. I got this one completely wrong because I forgot that it's women's MMA and that Myra Bueno Silva is dog as shit. She went from being championship level fighter to complete dog shit. I know Jasmine Justificius. I'm just gonna call her Jasmine because I hate her last name and I'm bad at pronouncing it. She just shot on her. She literally squatted over her face, shit in her mouth, and even if Myra Breno Silva wanted to do anything, she couldn't. She just couldn't. Jasmine literally bent over, ate her out, and that was that. There was nothing consensual about that. Nothing could have happened. Nothing. Myra Breno Silva just had absolutely nothing for her. It was horrible. It was just a bad beating. Terrence McKinney versus Demir. Terrence McKinney is a can crusher, the most notorious can crusher in the UFC, or at least one of them. And if he doesn't win by first round knockout like he did now, he's not going to win. He got him to the ground. He got a good TKO. It's Terrence McKinney. You know how Terrence McKinney fights go. He either just beats you because you suck ass and he only has one round of cardio, or you beat him because you're an actual decent fighter. Gabriel Bonfim, Ribovich, you know what I'm saying. The people who are actually good fighters, people who are talented, can last more than one round. They knock him out or they beat him. So you know how a Terrence McKinney fight goes. I don't need to tell you. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. I told you straight up. This was the first fight I predicted that I actually predicted on my video. Thomas Peterson is a fat fuck. So is Shamil Gaziev. So is Shamil, the Phenom Gaziev. Thomas Peterson is a fat fuck. You ever see that movie Full Metal Jacket? I think that's the one where the guy puts a gun. I can't say that. If you know what I'm talking about, I think it's a bathroom. I think it's a bathroom scene. That's Thomas Peterson. And that's probably what he will be doing soon. I don't know if I can say that, but I pull an all-nighter for this dog shit card. I better be able to say what the fuck I want. Shamil Gaziev, yeah, they're both fat fucks, but Shamil Gaziev isn't horrible. Even though he is bad, he's not horrible. He has power. He's actually a decent athlete from time to time. His cardio is dog shit. After 3 minutes of watching Shamil Gaziev, he was gassing. He was breathing from the mouth. He was slowing down. He was going crazy. Shamil Gaziev, just work on... Nah, don't even work on it, bro. I don't want you champ. But yeah, Thomas Peterson's fat. Majority of heavyweight is actually just fat people. And Shamil Gaziev just beat another can, because that's all he can do. It was a really good overhand, actually. It was a really good, I believe it was a straight or overhand. Knocked out Thomas Peterson. He collapsed because he's fat and he probably couldn't get up. I'm not even trying to be fat phobic. From a skinny guy, I actually think fat people have a lot of potential. They just don't work out. You're a professional athlete, though. Thomas Peterson's he got paid maybe 20 20,000 for that fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, put me in there against Jamil Gaziev. It won't be fun. I'll run away the whole time, but he'll gas out after one round, and I might even win a decision. He slows down so much, I might win a decision if I just fight Jamil Gaziev. Pay me 20,000, I'll put on a better performance. Muhammad Naimov versus Genghis Khan Ofli. Muhammad Naimov, it was pretty clear that he just outclasses Ofli, in my opinion, which is why I didn't actually predict it. But I'm on verdict because I don't know what else to choose. But I'm on verdict, that's what I do all my shit on. Yeah, Muhammad Naimov, it was pretty clear. It was pretty clear it'd go to decision. I didn't think it would finish him. And, the fact that his last name is Imavov, they're going to give him the win because he's one of their stars. Saudi Arabia card, you know how it goes. Everybody knows how it goes. But, they wonder why we hate Dagestanis and all that shit, even though they get tons of privilege. They wonder why we hate them. But, yeah, Naimov just outclasses him completely. Khan Ofli, he's not bad. He's not bad. Cool name. He's Genghis Khan, the guy who, had consensual and non-consensual intercourse with a bunch of people and made his children sleep together. But hey, base name, right? It was pretty clear though. Muhammad Naimov, he might be a cheater from time to time, but he is a good fighter. And it was pretty clear 3-0 in my opinion. A lot of good striking, good wrestling, but mostly good striking from Naimov, a lot of power. And it was just a clear difference in skill. This was a 50-50. Mike Davis versus Fares Ziam. And I chose Mike Davis based off the fact that he's a good striker. He's good on the ground. But just because you're good on the ground doesn't mean you pull guard 3 times. You don't win fights pulling guard. That's always been a thing. You don't win fights pulling guard because they don't consider ground control. If you're on the bottom, they don't consider that control. You're getting laid on. You're getting dry humped. Why would you think you're winning the fight? He pulled guard 3 times. I didn't account for that. I didn't think he pulled guard 3 times. Safe to say, I'm a little disappointed. And I just figured out he had Lyme disease. Apparently, his Lyme disease. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, he's got Lyme disease. Fares Ziam, he's the most flexible guy I've seen. His knee was in 5 different places at once, and he was fine. He's the most flexible guy I've seen, in a horrible calf slicer that would have tapped anyone out, that would have dislocated anyone's knee. He was perfectly fine. I don't know how he did it. I got no idea. There was times where I looked away just because I didn't want to see his knee get dislocated or pop. So while Mike Davis, you should have won. Not decision. You clearly lost decision. But what I'm saying is, if you fought anyone else who didn't have that elastic of knees, I don't know how to explain it, you would have won. But you pulled guard 3 times. You deserve to lose. I chose you because you're a good striker, and I thought you'd be able to get more submissions off or something. Because you're a really good black belt. You just don't fight. And I was kind of right. Like I said, the calf slicer would have dislocated anyone else's knee. I'm coping like hell. But yeah, Fares Ziam, good prospect. Really good prospect. Give him top 15. Jalen Turner. Joel Alvarez. Something like that. Give him something like that. Moving on. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. I went Vinicius Oliveira. I believe I said in my video I wanted to go Said, but then I thought he gasses out and Vinicius will expose him. This is this right here was somehow one of the worst displays of skill I've ever seen in my fucking life. The first round was alright. I'm pretty sure Said knocked Vinicius Oliveira down with a headbutt. They didn't show the replay, I think. But I'm pretty sure he knocked him down with a headbutt. And I believe Vinicius Oliveira broke his rib 2 minutes in. Which I called out before they called out. I'm a fucking genius. I'm so tired, though. Yeah, I went Vinicius Oliveira based off the fact that while I did think Said would win a majority of the fight, I thought Vinicius Oliveira would have the bigger moments, the bigger knockdowns, the bigger rocks. Something that would steal around. He would do more damage. I was right. But Vinicius Oliveira, not only did he do more damage, he controlled the second and third round pretty easily. And the first was a really close round. So 3-0 Vinicius Oliveira, in my opinion. I chose him. I switched my pick because I was like, low-key, Said doesn't fight. Said is a guillotine merchant, which I said. I said Vinicius Oliveira, would not be in the scenario to get guillotined, because that's all you have to look out for. You either get kicked in the face or you get guillotined, and if you avoid both of those, Saeed is kind of trash. He can't really wrestle, or he can, but I mean, Vinicius Oliveira just out wrestled him. He gasses immediately. Saeed throws horribly. He throws windmills, but so does Vinicius, bro. They, no joke, they probably headbutted like 8 times because they both just put their head down and started swinging high. Some crazy shit, bro. And you know it's bad when this was the most entertaining fight on the card. It is what it is. This was the most entertaining fight on the card. Actually, no, it's probably... Zion was very grappling based, but if you enjoy grappling, you'll love that fight. I enjoy grappling a lot, so... Yeah, either Vinicius Oliveira or Zion. I mean, give one of those guys fight of the nights, but... This was one of the lowest skills I've ever seen for people who are outside of top 15, right outside of top 15 at bantamweight. Probably will fight a top 15 guy next in the hardest division. Lightweight's not the hardest, it's bantamweight. Bantamweight's the hardest division, in my opinion. Like, this is top 15. And the worst part is, they're not bad. These guys aren't bad. They're just gassed and they can't box. It was really sad to watch, but I love the fight. I love stupid shit. That was stupid shit, and that really cleared everything. Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. If you chose Jairzinho, because you genuinely thought he would win, that's not a bad pick. If you chose Jairzinho because you're like, okay, decent money, Pavlovich lost his confidence, that was pretty smart. Pavlovich wins. I said he would win first round knockout, which he could. He should have. He knocked down Jairzinho multiple times. Not in the first round, but second and third. He knocked down Jairzinho. He rocked him in the first round. He's lost all of his confidence. And for a guy who can't grapple good, who has so much power, he has the worst ground and pound I've ever seen in my fucking life. He could genuinely be laying on a guy, touching him in horrible places. The guy could not be defending himself, and he would still not hit the head. This guy was... Sergey hit himself more times than he hit Jairzinho in ground and pound. I swear to God, he missed Jairzinho multiple times when Jairzinho wasn't even defending. And... I was laughing at this fight for one reason. Sergey, if you are doing the feint every second and you don't throw what you're feinting, it's not gonna work. This motherfucker Sergey was like this out, feinting every single second, but he didn't throw what he was feinting. And I'm like, look, you either have to stop feinting so much, feint something else, or you gotta throw something. You gotta throw what you're actually feinting so he can bite on the feint. If you're doing empty feints, it doesn't work. So there is an actual level. People don't really understand this if you're really a casual. The feints work only if you do what the feint is. If you're feinting nothing, then no one's going to bite on it because you're not going to do anything. You're just moving. So Sergey, learn how to feint. You would have knocked Jairzinho out. You actually scared me a lot. Jairzinho hit you with a jab. I'm pretty sure you broke your nose instantly. Oh my God. Pavlovich lost all of his confidence. It's done. He's a grappling merchant. He's lost all of his confidence. I hope that he gained all of his confidence back because it was an easy 3-0 against Jairzinho. I hope he gained all of his confidence back. And you could see it. He was faster than Jairzinho as soon as he started throwing. As soon as the ref was like, hey, we gotta go, you gotta go, or we're gonna cut you. This motherfucker landed every time and knocked him down or rocked him. Like, Pavlovich, you have such a good frame. You have such a good build for heavyweight. You have power, you're fast, you're a quick boxer. You've only lost to Aspinall and Volkov. The two guys who are about to fight for a belt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you shouldn't lose your confidence, but I understand why you did. I hope you gained it back. You're a guy who got there from knocking people out. Stick to that knocking people out. Like, please. I called this fight perfectly. I said MVP would 3-0 school him. MVP has a very in and out stance that if Shara kicks, either MVP will get out the way of the kick or he'll go into Shara, penetrating him back and forth, over, in and out, in and out, and he'll just hit him with a straight and elbow. And even then, what he likes to do is if he misses the punch when he comes in, he just pushes you off. It looks really good. It resets everything. He's a very smart fighter. Very fucking boring. MVP is one of the most boring fighters I've ever seen in my life because all he does is sit there. Or actually, it's quite the opposite. All he does is move back and forth until you throw something. And Shara is just not that good. I said it before, he had a close fight to Tricoli. Petrosian, that wasn't a domination. That was a pretty close fight in stand-up. MVP's a different level. He went pretty close. He had a really close fight with Ian Gary, who almost beat Shavkat. I mean, he destroyed Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland would beat Shara. It's different levels. I said it was different levels. I took the underdog pick. I went MVP. He 3-0'd him. Different levels. He's also moving up a weight class while he's older, so it's going to help him a lot. And one of the most boring fights I've seen. This fight was dog shit. But 3-0 MVP, I'll take a pick. But goddamn, bro, this fight was dog shit. There's not even much to go over. It was MVP moving in and out. He came in sometimes, hit him, pushed him on the floor. Shara threw a head kick that landed once. Shara did 3 little spins and then didn't throw anything after. He was just kind of waiting for a reaction. This fight was trash. This whole card was the definition of mid. If I can think of mid and the definition, I would put this in here because it was just mid. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. You were just there. You were literally just there watching it. But, main event time. I don't know if you can see Adesanya or not, but, I want to say I was right, but I was wrong. I said this was a complete fucking hell. This was a complete mismatch. Israel Adesanya was a lot better than, Nasruddin Imavov everywhere. I said Adesanya was better than him everywhere. He wouldn't have success in the grappling. He would barely have success in the boxing and kickboxing. And I was completely right. Israel Adesanya schooled him basically everywhere. But I made sure to throw this in the prediction video. By the way, this was a take. Adesanya did get a takedown. So I don't know what that's about. Unless I'm tripping. I might be tripping. But I said in the video, it's MMA. It's fighting. There's always a chance Imavov could land something. And I just happened to be right about literally everything I said. I was right about everything I said besides that. So my brother Kimball talking to me. Kind of ruined my process, actually. And I'm not going to re-record the whole video, so I'm going to edit. Because I'm not re-recording everything. That's hell. That would be hell for me. So, yeah, Israel Adesanya, I was completely right. He schooled him. Imavov couldn't grapple him. Imavov couldn't stand with him. Besides landing from time to time with something big. I want to say I was right about everything, like I said. Besides the prediction, I was right. Adesanya was better than him almost everywhere. I was right. It's MMA. And I was right. Anything could happen. And Imavov won. Landed on him. People are saying early stoppage. I can see why it's an early stoppage, okay? He got knocked down. He wasn't out. But you gotta understand that follow-up. Now it wasn't the initial knockdown that stopped the fight. It was the follow-up by Imavov that he landed on the chin when Adesanya was against the fence. Adesanya went out. He went out for a little bit. He came back. He's defending, but he's kind of flattened out. You gotta understand, man. If he doesn't stop it right there, if the ref doesn't stop it right there, then what happens? Imavov doesn't get up. He flattens Adesanya out completely, starts hitting him. It's like Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall, right? It's like Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall. People said early stoppage. Curtis Blades was still in there. But it wasn't. Because he was flattened out. And the only reason he got up was because Tom Aspinall got off him. So yeah, you love to see, Adesanya reacted quickly, early stoppage. I would love to say that because I chose Adesanya, right? But what happens if Imavov doesn't give up? Like what happens if he doesn't get up? He's not a bad grappler. What if he sits on Adesanya's back, hits him with a couple back of the head shots? Adesanya at this point has taken 2 huge shots. For sure went unconscious once. I don't know about the first time, but he for sure went unconscious once. He got knocked down. He takes some back of the head shots. Like, It's a good stoppage. For fighter safety, and I know they're fighters, safety should not be the top priority. For fighter safety, it's a pretty good stoppage. It's pretty fair too, because if you watch the replay, if you watch the hit against defense, it was brutal. It was a nasty fucking hit. And Imavov continues to impress me. Or he doesn't actually. I don't. The best way I'm explaining it, he continues to shock me, but he never impresses me because every time I pick him or every time I choose against him, I'm kind of right. I always have logic. Like I said, Adesanya outclassed him completely. Yes, Adesanya got knocked out, but he did outclass him. Before that, it was looking like he was outclassing him, and he looked great. The Lidsi fight, I chose Imavov, but I said he would gas and not finish the Lidsi. So he always does what I want. He always does what I think he does. The only difference is he lands a punch, and that punch just puts people out. So it's kind of crazy. Actually, sometimes I'm surprised he put Adesanya out, but. And I will say this. Before the finish happened, I missed the finish actually. I missed it because I was tweeting. I told you, word for word, bar for bar. I told y'all all week, Israel Adesanya's boxing looked really good. You can see that he worked on it after he fought Sean Strickland. This will be a clear win. I was mid-typing that, right? And I was about to press post. And then I see Adesanya go down. And I deleted that shit immediately. I I backspaced everything. I turned my phone off. I'm not allowed on Twitter. I'm not allowed on Twitter. I jinxed everything. If you want to blame anyone, blame me. I'm sorry, Adesanya. I cooked you. I cooked everything you stand for. But man, you can't be caught like that. One of Adesanya's main things I don't like is when people come in. Alex Pereira, right? People come in, he tries grabbing or clinching you, but to grab someone or clinch him, he does this. He puts his arms around you instead of just teeing up, instead of blocking up. That's how he knocked out Pereira the first time. He knocked him out by actually teeing up. The reason he got knocked out is because he did this against Pereira. The reason he just got caught is because he did this against Imavov. He always does it. And I know it's a thing for people with long arms. I know it's a thing, but Israel Adesanya is the main guy who does it. Good main event, great knockout by Imavov, great overhand. If you chose Imavov, really good pick. I got nothing but respect for that shit. And I'll admit when I'm wrong. To be fair though, this was a really good card. I actually did really good on this card. Imavov, man, you continue to impress me. I don't think you're being Drickus, and let there be no mistake. Whoever won this fight is not getting the title shot. That's not a thing. You're not getting the title shot for winning this fight. We know what Tom's at. We already know what Tom's at. He beat Whitaker. Adesanya's on 3-fight losing streak now, I think. Yeah, Adesanya's on 3-fight losing streak now. You know what I'm saying? It sucks because I was thinking low-key, I miss Adesanya. I miss prime Adesanya. I miss him when he was champion because while he was corny... Have y'all seen that video of X the rapper? You seen him coming around where he's like, "What's a father?" And then he starts laughing and just stares for like 15 seconds and it's really fucking corny and cringe. Adesanya's the same as champion, but like at least Adesanya is a fighter. He backs that shit up and he's a cool guy sometimes. Yeah, Adesanya, stick to YouTube. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as a fan who turned a hater, who turned to fan again. Stick to YouTube. Please. I don't want to see you go out there, go on a 4-fight losing streak against fucking Chao Barajo. I really don't want to see that. You look great, but your chin's not handling it. I know Imavov, that's kind of what he does, but your chin's not handling it well. And you're about to be 36. So good fight. All in all, this card was dog shit. I got majority of my picks right. I got the MVP pick. I got that perfect, which I'm really happy about. The Vinicius pick, I got that almost perfect, which I'm really happy about. All things considered, I did really well, but Adesanya, man, that hurts. That's like watching my friend, get cooked. That's like watching my friend get cooked, man. That sucks. But Imavov, like I said, he continues to not impress me, but he continues to shock me. You know, he continues to somehow just win. He's like, he reminds me of Drickus, where he somehow just wins. He's getting outclassed. It looks like it's about to be a long beating. And then he just wins. He just wins. Even though he gasses out after the first round, he just wins. Even though Jared Cannonier was kind of coming back, he just wins. It's like, he just wins. And that's enough, right? That's enough as a fighter. But yeah, that's the video. Just a little recap. I pulled an all-nighter. I really need to go to sleep. Really need to go to sleep. Was it worth pulling an all-nighter? No. I don't recommend you pull all-nighter for anything related to UFC, especially dog shit cards. And I can't wait to see y'all in a week for Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. This card is unironically better than that Dricus card. This card is better. And look, one more thing before I leave. I want to make a little rant. Israel Adesanya is somehow still headlining a better card than Dricus on a fight night. And look, I'm fine with Saudi Arabia and all that shit. They have no crowd. It's not hype. There's no energy. There's no nothing. All they do is boo. Even when it's a good fight, they're spoiled. They're fucking horrible. Pretty sure they still own slaves, but you know, it's another thing where it's like, I'm fine with you going back there 4 more times, like this year, as long as we pay John Jones that money to fight Aspinall. So I'm gonna campaign. Let's start campaigning. Let's go back to Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. Let's farm all that money, so we can see that Tom Aspinall versus John Jones fight. I don't care where that takes place. I just need to see that happen. I need to see John Jones get flatlined. Basically, recap. This card was very mid. The most mid thing I've ever seen in my life. Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, you know, while they pay a lot of money, all their fans suck and they have no energy for anything. And Imavov continues to shock me. And so does Adesanya, because how the fuck do you go out? I'm just going to end it there. I'm yapping. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna go to sleep.